All right, this is the last one. We saved it to the end. It's Penn State.
Yeah.
I think it's Kerry Collins or nobody at the moment. Trace McSorley was also 31-9 as a starter. Sean Clifford was 32-14 as a starter. Kerry Collins, a little bit like Joe Montana, had kind of like a star-crossed, like they knew he was going to be good, but then he got hurt. He had like a finger thing that screwed up his career. Kerry Collins was 21-5 as a starter. Drew Allar is currently 23-6. But Kerry Collins at 95 led one of the great seasons in Penn State history, where they were denied a chance to play for the national championship, but they were undefeated. That offense was one of the best college offenses you'll ever see with Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter. Finished fourth in the Heisman voting that year, won the Davey O'Brien as the top quarterback. But he's a little bit of it's kind of that he was sort of hurt, and then he was pretty good, and then he had an amazing senior year and was the 5th overall pick in the draft as a first rounder. But Allar, I think, is going to have a chance to have a greater full career. And Allar, if he wins 10 games this year, he'll pass McSorley and Clifford in career wins. What Drew Allar could do in 3 years as the starter, I think it's there for him to claim this, or for it to remain a debate, and maybe it's not a sure thing, and you can think, well, somebody can come along and top Drew Allar. But I think it's a debate right now. But I'm very curious for your thoughts here.
When you said last week we were doing this, and I said there was a team on my mind that that is good that I don't think has one. Penn State is who I was talking about.
Okay.
I think it's right that they don't have one. There are guys with sort of similar resumes that you would put near the top. Kerry Collins, yes. Todd Blackledge won a national title. Statistically, I think Collins is better. There's actually one that I Penn State fans don't think of him this way. Darryl Clark was 22-4 as a starter, and they won the Big Ten in 2008. And if they didn't lose by a point to Iowa in Kinnick Stadium that year, maybe he would have played for the national title. Just a good college quarterback over 2 years at Penn State. Better career record than Kerry Collins by a game. But again, it's not like Darryl Clark was not Penn State's perfect quarterback. He was just a good Penn State quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've had it.
Okay.
I think Allar could absolutely be it. But I think he would have to win a national title to do it.
Or it remains a debate.
Or
is that what you would say?
Yeah. I think if they win a national title this year and Allar is viewed as the engine of that, then I think he is the person who claims this for Penn State.
Yes.
Short of that, I think it remains a debate.
Kerry Collins, again, because of the finger injury, is only 10th in Penn State history in passing yards. Allar's currently 6th, and if he stays healthy and has a typical year, he'll finish 2nd or 3rd behind Sean Clifford and maybe behind Trace McSorley. Again, this is one of those where Sean Clifford, he's 32-14. That's the most wins for any Penn State quarterback ever. He's their all-time passing yard leader. And if it was is Sean Clifford the greatest quarterback in Penn State history? Nobody would say yes, because Sean Clifford is more emblematic of Penn State being good but not quite good enough, right?
He's the kind of guy I was alluding to earlier, where he was a highly successful Penn State quarterback. By the end of his career, people were sick of watching him play.
Yes,
and they wanted Drew Allar to play. So no, I don't. I think his is a resume that will age well, and people will come to appreciate him with time. But the end of his career, people were just can we get this guy out of here and get anybody else to see if we can't break through?
So I do think we don't exactly have this list, but if we were talking about who are guys on current rosters that would have a chance if their career maxes out to be viewed as their school's perfect quarterback. We talked about CJ Carr in Notre Dame. We talked about Bryce Underwood in Michigan. That's all projection because those guys haven't played yet. Julian Sayin or Tavian St. Clair at Ohio State, that's all projection. Avery Johnson at Kansas State, it's tough, but maybe there's a path. Rocco Becht at Iowa State, you laid it out. I think Allar, he already has 2 years in as a starter for it. I think might be is he the most realistic of a current Northern quarterback who at the end of his career could be viewed this way as the perfect quarterback for his school?
Yeah, I think so. By probably a fairly significant margin too.
Not a guarantee, but an opportunity.
No.
And it's not only projection. They made the college football playoff semifinals last year with Drew Allar as the starting quarterback, and he elevated his game in his second year as a starter compared to his first year as a starter. and he's projected by a lot of people as a first round pick. So there's he's checking like winning stats, longevity, NFL possibilities, all that. He's checking all the boxes that we say go into this, but you wouldn't say it right now. There needs to be, he needs to max out.
Yes.